AKT Celebrity Reads. I'm your host, Alexis K. Taylor, and I just finished making some dessert. I put it in the community forum so you can see it for them. Try on my little jumpsuit. I don't mind the black showing, but the part it's like a red jumpsuit, not a shirt. Hey, so I got me some too. I got them potato pie and I baked a peach cobbler today and an apple pie. So I want to eat a little bit of it with you. And I don't know if I'm probably going to finish it all, but I wanted to do part 2 of the Brother POLIGHT situation, because Nipsey is bringing a lot of more information that is really heavy. I gotta drop it. I want to share it with you all, as well as with his friend Crypto Roots. It's amazing. Both of them are tech and experts in teaching about cryptocurrency and purchasing it, and they've been talking to each other. Now, Crypto Roots is amazing to me. He died during what I've been telling you is this Jason period. July, August, September, October, November. He died physically in July. So I think it was July 18th, 2021. Just like a month ago. And I came... Every time I speak my truth, don't be afraid. I'm not afraid to speak anything. Everything I've said, I said what I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it. So that's confusing. Whoever said that, speak my truth. I have no issue speaking my truth and saying what I want to say. So I don't know what that means and where that's coming from. You can explain if you want to. But that's never been my issue, saying what the fuck I want to say. To who the fuck I want to say it to. Yeah. So, Crypto Roots physically died. His wife, who just had a baby, like 2 weeks before he physically died, said he had really bad asthma. I had a really bad asthma attack, which I know was also a psychic and spiritual attack. And it's just amazing that I accidentally come up across him. Oh, okay, Jack, because I thought you were talking about something's going on or that I was afraid to speak about. Yeah, that's not the same. That's a white man. I think that was in the news that died, that Phil Valentine. That's not the same one that's in the conscious community. The name's spelled the same, though. If you look at it, you'll see that's not the same person. It's amazing to me that I'm pulling up videos and I come across him. He draws me in, Crypto Roots, and I'm listening to everything he's saying, and I'm getting, thank you, Cassandra, I'm getting, says they've been threatening me. Yeah, but I still say what I want to say. I just kept seeing him coming to me, and I'm pulled in by him. The more I look, like I said, the more I'm listening to him, the more I'm drawn in by him. And I'm getting angry as I'm watching him because he reminds me so much of me and how I used to be. And you can see that he's really a good soul and like a wounded little boy inside of a grown man's body. Really beautiful soul. And I'm listening to him. And when he says he's with POLIGHT in Vegas, all of a sudden, that's when these people come up. 10 people. So I know the number 10 is significant for 10 people to come here that are physically dead but yet still alive and know where they are and said, hey, we're out here. I'm in the desert. I need you to tell my relatives where my body is so they can go get my body and handle my body properly. It's probably orbs. And then, like, there's 9 more with him. And I know 10 is a number of endings and beginnings. So I am... like, why are these physically dead people following this man around who I'm watching and I'm listening to him like, this is different. This is new. So I learned something from that because that's when I got the email from the girl that says, are you talking to him? I'm like, what is she talking about? Am I talking? She's like, girl, he's been gone for 2 months. He physically died 2 months ago. But I'm realizing he hasn't been physically dead 2 months. He physically died. His wife said had a massive asthma attack in July, just last month, I think July 18th, which is absolutely amazing because August 18th is around the time he comes here. And I'm watching him, and he's pulled in, and he's still here. Him and Nipsey are buddies. Thank you, Lord. I'm going to eat a little of my ice cream. I'm going to turn it off because I was warming the rest out. My more. Oh my God, it's so good. So, I have to listen to everything they have to say and tell you. Oh, it's troubling. It's quite interesting. It's quite troubling. This affects everybody because you better get ready to have more than United States currency for money. If you can get crypto in the right forms of crypto and gold and silver, store your food and move outside of the city and get your ammo where you can legally have the ammo and not be forced to take the shot. You better do it now because they're trying to make people take the shot. And what I'm telling you is, and I don't care what people say, I am saying this as a psychic medium and doing spiritual readings for entertainment purposes only. Although a lot of the things I say, you come back and tell me what's going on in the news and current events. I'm still wondering, too, about these Boeings and the airplanes and are they safe, or are any other crashes going to come up as well? Even if it's in another country connected to the United States. Remember I kept telling you all, Nipsey kept talking about Iraq, Iran, Russia, China, Egypt, Ethiopia, Eritrea. Now we see that in Afghanistan. I kept saying it. You can go back in a month ago where I said this, and it was tied to the U.S. Now you see the U.S. has intervened with Afghanistan, and it's a mess. And they also mentioned two countries, China. Is it China and Russia? That's tied to either China and Russia, or China, Russia, and Iran are tied to Afghanistan. Yes, so nobody can say I'm lying because that's going on right now. And it's a mess. In California, you can only go into a restaurant. You see what I'm saying? And he told me to warn you all about California. That was going to be one of the experimental stomping grounds for this kind of thing. Along with the marijuana and the drugs that I told you were not safe. Even the medicinal was GMO. And it had trackers in it that was going to make people sick. Okay. And in the vaccination. He's also saying about the shot. When people get this shot, and I've talked to people who said they got it and they're fine. You might be fine now, but it has blood clotting problems, and it has nanoparticles, even though they say that it don't. That's a lie. Unless you got a placebo and you don't know if you got a placebo. And when they get it a year to 3 to 5 years afterwards, they're going to see they're going to have other problems that are going to be unexplainable. And like I said again, like mad cow disease, hormonal imbalance, unexplained bleeding, women having their periods again, spontaneous miscarriages or abortions, babies dropping out of the womb, heart damage problems, vascular problems, problems with circulation of the blood, kidney and liver problems, and severe blood clotting to cause death and a lot of health problems. Nipsey showed me this. The way what is in this shot, and it's several versions, like the Delta one I told you, and the Lambda one that is coming up. The way that the virus is designed, it is literally, he showed me it looked like a mirror to turn the cell inside out and make the body go into a really bad immune response and create a cytokine storm so bad that the body actually turns on itself. So if you get it, you want to detox the body. One might be fine, but if you keep getting it, that puts you at more risk and more problem. Because it alters the cell. It creates another species of it. It alters the DNA and you will never be the same. And it creates other problems and issues. And you're not going to be able to reverse it. Well, you want to get on your vitamin therapy and your detoxification therapy with your herbs and your diet as much as you can. If you chose to do it to stay at a job, that's all you can do. Have as much non-GMO food as possible. It's so much. And I wanted to do with some sages. I'm gonna have to wait because I don't want the phone to heat up so much. Okay, I can't do it. Yeah, this is coming whether people say it's a lie, believe it or not, or don't want to believe it. This is going on right now in the body, and a lot of people are having this problem with the body. Hold on, let me turn my stove off. Hold on. Okay. One thing he's saying to me, and I'm probably not going to be able to get into all of it tonight. When Nipsey let me see him when his body was being examined, looked like in the embalming room, and I saw this medical file. Some of this stuff in this medical file is still not being released to the public, and they're deliberately keeping it back for the trial and still discussing the trial and trying to put this off, really trying to make this go away and not talk about this. Now this, let me try to remember because I didn't write it down, because as he's saying it to me, I'm laying down and I'm listening to what he's saying, and it's blowing my mind, and he's bringing me back to some things he said over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Okay. Excuse me. He brought up Johnny Cochran again. He brought up Geronimo Pratt. He dealt with Geronimo Pratt. He brought up Tupac Shakur and his mother, along with Geronimo Pratt. He brought up LAPD. He brought up We Security. And We Security is tied to Nipsey and some of the Muslims in the Nation of Islam. And he brought up Malcolm X. Get your hand out my pocket. Who else did he bring up? Oh, God. Because this was blowing my mind. He said, with this Brother Polite situation and what was done to him, Brother Polite and these other people I just mentioned with these different organizations, along with Johnny Cochran taking me all the way back, and like I told you, the Rampart situation with the police that's also gang members and tied to the music and rap industry. Johnny Cochran is also taking me to real estate and deeds, mortgage loans, and mortgage fraud, and bank fraud tied to old people out in LA that's also tied to Brother Polite, as well as Bitcoin. Nipsey's Bitcoin and the Bitcoin from the guy that's been in here that Polite tricked, that took over $100,000 from him with his father's insurance policies. And I remember I said that last year. I said he and these women would help set up older men and set up people that they knew were dying, were drugging them, were acting like they wanted to be nurses and assistants, and had young women stay with them, have sex with them, basically trick them and seduce them for him. And he would show them how to do it, said trick the old men, yes, and also prostituting the young girls. And they move around from place to place, state to state, in rural areas where they think people are slow, or the older people don't know, or the men are sick. And then he flips the game when they start to ask a question. He has several personalities where they ask the question. Nipsey showed me these plots, old plots in LA where there were older people that already had houses paid for. They had a lot of equity in the house. Polite, along with women in there, and dealing with people that were relatives to the old people or close to them, or would gain the trust of these people to get in there and get around them, would go through their documents and look them up in the real estate divisions, and then see what the equity is, who owns the house, is it paid for, deal with mortgage people, and people with these different groups, conscious community, Nation of Islam, people that are also tied to Dianetics, with L. Ron Hubbard, that are also Nation of Islam, We Security, and tied to Mayor Garcetti down at the mayor's office, as well as he showed me the attorney, Johnny Cochran, showed me an Asian man that was a Black Panther, or he was supposed to be a Black Panther a long time ago. But people are also saying he was a federal agent. I think he's physically died. Oh, thank you, Treetop. That's right. Like the video, subscribe, share the videos. Thank you. The more you like, the more people get to see it and hear about it. Thank you. Thank you very much. These groups were all tied together, and there are people in the mayor's office that went along with this. And then Nipsey showed me a politician, a Black politician, got his hair cut low, got oil or grease on his head as a Marquisa, something like that. I seen him in a picture with Nipsey and David Gross. So we had a case of typhoid, and here he's tied to the real estate scams. So this go back like 15, 20 years. Here's a video about it. Yes, and Nipsey was teaching about it, and I don't really know. I'm learning now, and since he has a buddy now, Crypto Roots that hangs in here. I like crypto, and crypto's really easy to understand, so you've been dropping these jewels. That's right, baby, and now it's helping me to understand, because I heard the video on Nipsey talking about the crypto, and I'm like, oh, shit, I don't understand. But Crypto Roots makes it childlike for me, and it's easy to understand. Crypto Roots brought it up, and Nipsey brought it up and said something about crypto ethereal or Ethereum key. So it's the crypto currency, or I don't know if this is a different form, crypto Ethereum, but also crypto key. Okay, yes, I'm sure it would. Yeah, don't call me auntie, please. If I'm not your aunt, then don't do that. My name is Alexis. I have a name. My name is not auntie. My name is Alexis K. Tyler. Okay. Ethereum. Yeah, you're saying Ethereum, but see, I don't know how it ties together. Yeah, thank you. Silk Road. Yeah, I did see a documentary on Silk Road. But it's so much I have to learn so that I understand what they're saying. And there's some type of Ethereum or ethereal key. So I have to see what all this means. The Bitcoin has keys, and from what Crypto Roots said, he gave some, either he bought some and gave some to Polite, or Polite made him give it to him, or he gave him access to it, because Richard, thank you, Eskia, Richard Ioki, yes, he said he was a part of it, but Johnny Cochran saying, and Nipsey saying, I see FBI infiltration, CIA infiltration, LAPD. He's telling me they helped to set him up, and that the security company that was securing Nipsey and We Security, because Johnny Cochran comes up about We Security, and he brings up Mayor Garcetti again about We Security, and they were tied to Nipsey through these different conscious organizations, as well as having their own secret security within the security that was a hit squad. said he was about some kind of scamming in Ohio. Yes, Chicago, Ohio, Atlanta, New York, New Jersey, LA, Vegas, all these different places where they know are hot spots. They've driven around and done this in prostitution and drugs. Well, it's not just that. There are different groups that make up what you call the conscious community. The 5%ers, the Moors, the Nation of Islam. Not all of them, but some of them are all interconnected. You just don't know it. And they all work together, and a lot of these are spies or agents. That's what Nipsey is telling me that were involved in his killing. There was a hit squad within the We Security, as well as a real estate fraud and scam. He's showing me something about POLIGHT was selling these plots of real estate, but people trusted him so much they didn't even see it. They didn't physically get to see it or walk in it or get a key. And these properties belong to dead people, physically dead, or it was lots and they didn't exist anymore. Hi, Alexis. And they were just selling, he was selling them as well as ripping old people off. I saw this lady again yesterday or last night, an older woman that was in a casket, but then she was also put in a vault, a cement vault. He had something to do, allegedly in the spirit, for what I'm seeing, having someone close to this woman or finesse her, or have one of those women that work with him or act like an aide or assistant or something to take him, get close to them, give them certain medications, get access to their deed and their financial paperwork, let people in the mortgage industry see if there can be another loan taken out on an older house that's already been paid for by somebody that's 70, 80 years old that you know is not going to take this out. Get this taken out. By the time the person finds out about it, they're in an old folks home or the person's dead. And of course, they already have insurance and they make sure they have it and they get this money. So, allegedly, in the spirit, this is what Nipsey is telling me that has gone on out there for years. Not just there, in other states around the United States as well. Here, New York, New Jersey, wherever they just ride around, especially country places, where nobody would ever suspect, nobody would ever tell, and pimping the girls, the little girls, and then extorting people. Well, you know, you're going to do this, and you're going to sign this over, and you're going to give me this money, or I'm going to call the police and tell that she ran away, and you've been fucking her, and she's fucking 13, 14 years old. Doing real dirty shit, and like getting monthly amounts, extorting motherfuckers. And I've said this before. Oh, here we go. I've frozen. A lady said a judge brought her grandma's house with a fake loan company that traced back to nothing. Yes, and I'm seeing they're tied to things like this. And made millions off of this. And I'm seeing wire fraud, like Western Union, bank fraud, fake checks, having people working in banks, credit card fraud. And it's all tied to real estate and the Bitcoin, because the man that's in here, Crypto Roots with Nipsey, as well as Nipsey, says that both of them have cryptocurrency missing, and these same people, yes, and he mentioned funeral home transporting bodies back and forth before burial, and actually getting paid on the side to blood let the body, drain the body out, and then move the body from one place to another, literally staging murder scenes like Nipsey was staged because he had no blood in his body. And oh boy, his stuff, him and Crypto said some of their keys are missing. They said they were stolen from, and Nipsey said his were stolen from within his organization and business people that he trusted. And some of these are the same people that are tied to Crypto Roots and POLIGHT, along with the real estate. And dead people, physically dead people that are getting up talking to me, talking about their real estate and how people close to them, either relatives, friends, somebody that they trusted that could get inside the house so they would listen to. And then they're tied to someone that deals with somebody conscious, deals with mortgages, loans, financing, bad checks, having people inside of the financial institutions to help to move this stuff through, as well as down in City Hall and dealing with zoning and building and real estate and planning. Where they're going to build things next, what's the hot spot, what's the regentrification spot, and then doing this to elderly people, tricking them and basically prostituting and tricking girls, as well as involved in the drug trade and extorting and blackmailing and straight up stealing from people, getting out, pretending you're a multimillionaire, the cars are yours, the cars are rented, coming up with a whole scheme and having a whole group of people helping them with the scheme and with the scam. This is what him and Crypto Roots are telling me. Crypto Roots feels very ashamed, very embarrassed because he's worried about his child. Cannot believe that he left him. I know it's freezing up early, but I'm still going to leave it here. He's like, he felt like his father let him down, and then he let his child down because he left his child. That's what he said. He went close to his dad. And he's like, he wants to tell his wife he's sorry. He feels like he let her down. He's embarrassed and ashamed how he gave him the money, trusted someone, didn't trust himself. But I could tell that he's a wounded little child inside and didn't have a strong man around him. So I know how he feels, but I've been listening to him because I know the guilt is overbearing because he left a woman here with a little bitty baby. Okay? It's showing me that his keys are missing, and he said that Polite made him give some of his cryptocurrency to him and have the keys to it. And the little bit I've learned today, you can have cryptocurrency you buy, but not own it by yourself. Somebody else could own it. Somebody else could have a key. It could be connected to several people in several accounts. He's saying Polite stole it from him and stole the key. So, Nipsey is saying the same thing. He's telling me, oh boy, the management company that managed him in his music career, he said, in basically all record labels, when you get that big, and management companies, they have a secret basement operation underground that they are required. He said the one that he was with that managed him and still got their hand in his stove with his baby mama, it was a snitching agency. Work for the popo. That set him up, snitched on him, told people that Nip was gonna meet with the LAPD before he got shot. Nip said had them investigating him behind his back, trying to catch him up on shit. Cause the management company and record label undercover deal with the drugs, the trafficking, getting shit on they artists, setting them up, snitching on them, and that they're ran by agents and snitches. They're not just watching. That's not what I said, baby. I said they inside the agencies and they run the agency. They are the record and management agent, what I said. People that run these agencies on top and recruit these boys as rappers, they work for the feds, they snitches. That's what I said. They partnered up with them. They helped to set them up. And ultimately set their ass up, take their shit, take their money, take their pups and get them killed or send their ass to chain gang. Know what I said. So we get these people, they give you a deal. You think they're your friend. They only pick certain people they're going to give a deal. Either young and dumb and easy to work with and trick and work real hard for a little bit of nan, or somebody that they fear, like Nipsey, and what he was going to do for his community and want his property. Now they can regentrify and make millions and billions and deal with real estate moguls on that property there, because he didn't want to bend. He didn't want to negotiate and play ball, but he didn't know. He had an idea, and then you see they admitted once they physically killed him that the feds or the LAPD was trying to investigate him to get something on him. The old structure, what he's saying to me, and what Johnny Cochran is coming down here speaking to me. He said the old structure is still in place. He said the Cochran agency is not his no more. He said they say it's the Cochran agency and have the Cochran name like they're by honor and integrity, like it was when he was O.J. Simpson. He said those days are gone. Everything, so they got drones, everything is tapped and monitored. When you know you coming now, and you're trying to get a case, a government case, you've been done wrong or fucked up, you're a person of color, he said that goes straight, and the file that goes higher up. He keeps saying DC. And it's going to be sabotage. That goes high up all the way down the street. And they have dirty ass niggas snitching and working for them. That be in your goddamn face. How they love you so fucking much. Said it's tied to the record contracts. Tied to the management contract. Heavily occult. And child trafficking. You know, I don't know that Mayfair truck or the Suez Canal, or was it a boat or something, that bothers me. When I look at that word Mayfair, I wonder what or who is inside that goddamn cargo ship. That cheering. You know? Trafficking. Yesterday keep coming to me. And now I'm sorry. I'm frozen, but I'm talking because I heard the video yesterday and I see you can still hear my voice very well. So, I want to put that a little bit out there. You know why this boarded up? Because they're going to do other things with it. You'll have to look up the research on that. It says it's going to be a Nipsey Tower there. They don't want it open. They don't want people in there. It's clear why. And they're going to either get rid of it or rebuild something there. They don't want you to know that it was blood on the dance floor. Like I told you, killed that bone that down in that stove, blood in there, and they dug up the goddamn floor. That's why, I mean, you need to go back and do your research, honey. We've been reading this for 2 years. I dealt with this at the very beginning. Other people have dealt with it too. Why? Their store's boarded up. Why? It looks a goddamn mess. And they don't want you to know the fuck going on in there. You know, but people close to him love him so goddamn much. Now, I'm not talking about his brother. And he mentioned his grandmother. He said he loved his grandmother. He misses her so much. He was thinking a lot about his grandmother and what the man named Slauson Bruce. He's been thinking of Slauson Bruce a lot lately. I don't hear Slauson Bruce much, or people don't see anything about Slauson Bruce. Hold off on the BS. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever issue you have with the wayward person, you need to take that up with her. It has nothing to do with me, dear. I can say what I want to say. I can shout out who I want to. Ain't nobody my mama over here. So whatever question you have about that thing, then you need to go ask that thing, honey. Because ain't nobody checking me about what the fuck I do and what I say and who I say it about her to on my page. I don't answer to any bitch on YouTube, honey. Thank you, Monica. The Marathon Clothing Store said to look, yes, you can feel the death and the negative energy all down there. Oh, boy. You all, let me try to close this and let it charge a little bit and come back since I can't talk. I'm sorry, it won't let me talk. Yep, Steve Lobel is in it. All of them are in it, baby. I'll be back.